Welcome to Spate's ODT Rugby Chat at the Meads Bar for another week. This actually might be the last week because we're actually heading into club finals. We've got massive upsets in the weekend. Kaikorai beating Varsity. I think I described it on the radio as like Sunderland winning the FA Cup in 1973. Dunedin, a bit lucky to beat Harbour. There's been lots of moaning down in Harbour about a kick not going over, but I'm pretty sure in Monday's paper it said that the Dunedin are in the final. So to talk about that big game this weekend, we've got Mike Dougherty from, we're not sure what he does at Kaikorai, but apparently he's pretty much in charge. And we know that Dennis O'Day is in charge of Dunedin. He hasn't got a title either, but he's pretty much, I think Dennis, it would be fair to say that you've shafted everybody this year and you are in charge of the club.
No, unfair, Paul. Just came in and filled in a few gaps that were there, so just to help out.
Doc, look, we'll bring you in, mate. So let's get this out on the table straight away. How much has it cost you this year to get to a final, the amount of money you're paying players? Apparently your wage bill's bigger than Man United.
No, it's pretty skinny actually. Just looking at our squad the other day, and they had about 22 in that game the other day. 16 of those boys never been to another club. They come from our Colts straight from school. 16 out of the 22, that's not too bad.
What about, I thought it was a countryside come to town, isn't it, Doc?
Yeah.
All from South Otago?
Poaching from the country?
South Otago.
Will they even recover now you've got all their players?
Oh no, they're going good. South Otago's strong, yeah.
Well, talk me through that. I think Lawrence are playing Clutha this weekend, are they?
They're talking about playing Friday night. Clutha and Lawrence. Clutha approached Lawrence to play Friday night. They wanted to come down. Of course, a few ex-Kite boys in the Lawrence set up as well. So, and Paul Graham, of course, he's a Clutha boy, and his brother played for Kite. That's why he's there. So,
apart from the check.
No.
Look, so Dennis, we'll bring you back in. Well, I mean, the first thing a lot of people have asked me so far this week, Dennis, is look, you've got a history of not turning up to other clubs when your side doesn't win, and this has happened at Kaikorai frequently, and that's made the annals of the ODT on more than one occasion. If by chance Kaikorai win this final, is there any chance of you darkening the door of the Kaikorai club?
Well, you know the old story, Paul, do it once, and it's never forgotten, is it? So, but certainly I'll go in. I'll make sure first that Shaver's got plenty of money as well to shout if that's the case, and but always happy to go and have a beer with the opposition after a game, especially a good final. Righto,
so Doc, any special activities planned when you win this final on the weekend? Because you go into this game overwhelming favourites.
Well, I don't see that we are. We were the shock result to make the final, so we're clear underdogs, and we don't mind that tag at all, Paul. But no, nothing planned. We're not getting ahead of ourselves at all.
I hear there's a street parade down through Mary Hill.
We'll celebrate whether we win, lose or draw. That's the type of people we are.
Right.
It's just good to see like the People's Clubs, Dunedin and Kaikorai.
Just People's Clubs.
Just on that, Doc, I've spoken to a few Kaikorai guys this week.
Yeah.
Let's name them, mate. You know, there's Lloyd Mayoli, there's Melissa Croft, Murray Clubhopper Galland, Stu Parker and Brett Chalice, the accountants, Tony Shave, Steve Griffin, your physiotherapist. You know the question they've asked me? Is it worthwhile you guys turning up? That's the level of confidence. Let's say call it confidence. That's what they're thinking.
Yeah.
The only one who made any sense was Nick Friedlander. And I said, who's going to win? Fins up, he said. Fins up.
Is that right?
Yeah. So Dave Lamont said Rosalind Mulcahy.
So what's your answer to that? Is that much the same as Jimmy Reid?
Yeah.
So what's your answer? Because I hear, it won't be coming from the players, but certainly there's a lot of rambunctious members of yours who are very, very confident about winning this game. Oh,
yeah, there probably is, and there'll be people in most camps that'll be very confident. You learn from being overconfident in past matches. It doesn't pay to say too much. It's going to be a good game. I know that much for.
And the big question I've got to ask you, I've just written this down now. Ron St Clair Newman, is he shouting? Will he be shouting behind the bar on Saturday night? I'd imagine I'd be getting free beer up there on Saturday night.
Well, put it this way: if there's free beer, it won't be Ron shouting.
Right.
He runs a good bar, Doc.
So look, we were just talking about Friday night, and Dennis, and there's just been a bit of consternation for me today. I was looking because I just saying that Lawrence and the Clutha boys are going to play on Friday night. Now I hear that the Dunedin Prem 2s are playing Eastern, and we've done a lot of favours for Eastern over the years, Dennis, to be fair, and we've got to go out to Eastern. Unbelievably, the Prem 2s got to go out there, and they won't play the game early, and they won't play it on a Friday night. What have you got to say about that? What have you got to say to Eastern?
I mean, I find this unbelievable. We were single-handedly kept Eastern in the Premier grade for a season when we combined with them to form a team in the Premier grade. And I recall a couple of years ago, Paul, where we happily went out there on a Friday night, the first night they used their lights and had a great night, but now we want to do something like that, they won't reciprocate. Disappointing, isn't it?
I'm very disappointed from a country club, Doc. This is what these country. I mean, I think it's a great concept playing Friday night rugby out at Waikawa, especially if you've got if you split your Prem 2s and your Prems are struggling a wee bit for numbers. It's a great play to get your Prem 2 game out on the Friday night. They get a bus trip out of town. They don't get many bus trips, and now they're turning around and doing this for the poor old Dunedin Sharks.
Yeah, well, that's I'll just it's a wee bit on the nose, to be fair. But however, for one reason or another, they'll have their reasons for it.
Oh, they will. There's always a reason. Look,
Noel Jenkins is
he's prone to exaggeration.
He took some consoling actually when the news came in.
Yeah,
the way he was talking, I thought that Waikawa was just out of Ashburton. I said, hang on, Noel, you're only half an hour up the road, mate.
Well, I see that because I did see that the Kaikorai Prem 2s, they're playing Harbour out at Harbour. So again, but then again, that's only 5 minutes out of town. But they're bringing their game forward to 12:15. And the Eastern boys won't even bring their game before 12:30, which I think obviously Harbour will try to help you guys out a wee bit here.
Well, they were keen to play Friday night, Harbour,
as well.
If we wanted, we sort of threw that around, and they said, yeah, look, we'll do whatever you want to do. So, maybe Eastern take a leaf out of their book. One of them.
Yeah, disappointing. Look, let's come back to Kai. I mean, look, I think I'm the only person in Dunedin. I'll blow my own trumpet here. When I was picking the teams that are going to make the top 4 this year in the first round of the season, I said the teams that would make the top 4 would be Varsity, Harbour and Kaikorai, and I said it'll be a toss-up for that 4th spot. So Kaikorai, to me, have done a pretty good job this year, and your Prem 2s are in the top, I think in the top 2, I think you're second in Prem 2. So what's turned it around? Because I've been bagging you guys for the last few years. I've given you C-, D+. What's going on? What's caused this, all of a sudden, your top 2 sides going as well as they are?
I think it's there's a number of factors. Obviously, we've got a very astute coaching trio at the Premier grade, but I think it's your stars line up every now and then. Like we've had this group of boys coming through. We've picked up a couple more, as you know, this season that have made a difference to the side as well. But it just shows you when you get a good run, no injuries, and some of these better players can filter down and play P2s. It's only like Torrey, for example, this weekend. Their P2s, their Colts are going well. Their Prems are defaulting, so it just shows you how fragile clubs are.
Yeah,
it's not a good situation to be in. And
but 2 years ago, you guys didn't have a Prem 2 side.
No.
So, and has Big Croft done a great job with this in the second group?
He's been outstanding for our club. There's not very often you can single-handedly blame or give one person the accolades of success for any one grade, but Crawford's had the Prem Colts for 11 years. A lot of those boys come back, played Prem 2s with him. He's a real anchor at the club, even though he's a bit grumpy at times.
Well, he gets grumpy, but he's probably got because probably arguing with Ron Sinclair Newman over beer prices. That's probably what it is.
Hope they don't come to blows one day.
Right, that won't be that good. Dennis, we'll bring you back in. So look, we're at Dunedin. Look, I didn't give Dunedin a chance this year. I mean, the back line has been, let's be honest, they've been average at best, but they've always had a strong forward pack. But look, just to explain that road, how have they got through to a final?
Well, I think I was at a meeting with you at the start of the season, Paul, with Keith Cameron and the Premier management team, and we said to them, after a disappointing year last year, we said to them, look, if you guys can make the playoffs, we would regard that as a successful season. Well, they've done that and they're going further, so that's fantastic. We think certainly it's based around a very strong forward pack, and we've got some real good solid journeymen in there and Prem's experienced players. You know, you've got your Sam Andersons here, you've got your Grieve Duns, you've got your Harmy Tomers, Brighouses and people like that. Will Henry, who's playing his last game, but probably as a Premier player this weekend.
He's played 150 plus games?
Yeah, and I mean, they are experienced Premier players and good, very good Premier players. And bear in mind too, when it comes to the Saturday, those guys have had experience in playing finals rugby. So that counts for a lot too.
So look, Doc, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's 1997 you guys won a final. I know that because Dunedin, might have been managing the Dunedin Prem side that year, and unbelievably we lost the semi-final to Kaikorai. Luckily I was in Melbourne, so I didn't bear the brunt of it. So 1997, it's a long time between drinks.
Oh yeah, it sure is. Andy Hunter, one of the coaches for the side.
He was captain that year.
He captained the side. There's unlike some clubs, they've got rows of premiership winning teams. We've just got the one big one there. but the boys often look at it, and we always look at it and dream of the day we'll have one to hang beside it.
Will you do an land reunion and put a sign up outside and leave it up for 10 years?
Oh, the one welcome rugby players,
Yes,
the World Cup.
yeah.
I reckon the 2040 something World Cup could be back, so they're going to leave it up.
Leave it up to them. No, I actually did write about it at one stage, and they actually slightly got embarrassed and took it down.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So you're just going to put it up saying 2016 champs, welcome to Kaikorai.
Yeah.
You'll leave it up for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So look, but it must be. It's a. You know, like when I'm the only one that picked us that they would make the top 4. Look, talk me through it. 8 minutes to go in the final, in the semi-final. You're down to 14 men. You're down by 10 points. You have no chance of winning that game. What were you thinking on the sideline?
Well, the brand of rugby we play, I know it was a bit like that. I thought, shit, we're in trouble here. But I remember 6.5 minutes to go. The clock at the ground said 73.5 minutes. And I turned around to my old mate Stu Parker beside me, who wasn't quite in tears, but he was bordering on it. And I said, I think we're buggered here. And then the spirit of the side come back and 2 dots.
So you bring on a midget, a 2-foot midget, who apparently he came on the wing, and in fact I think he might have been the reserve halfback, McAtee, and then bang, he's away and sets up that try for you. So they must have been a real fun, because it was all you Kaikorai guys were at the other end from memory. You were all down the far end when they scored that try. There must have been a real state of euphoria, and sort of because I just still can't believe that Kaikorai, that Varsity blew it, but you guys must have been pretty happy when Jonesy went over the corner.
Oh, no, we were elated. Yeah, no, that's when Stu, poor old Stu, did break down a bit.
He did break down and cry. He's always been soft.
He did stop though about 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon.
He stopped crying by then.
Yeah.
So look, Dennis, we'll bring you back in. So look, not many people gave Dunedin a much of a chance in that game, especially let's talk about through the Scottie Eade situation for a start. So he's played for Dunedin for the last 8 weeks. The Highlanders pull him out last Thursday, and then we find out on Friday the kid's not even eligible to play for the Highlanders. So what was the thoughts at the rugby club over that whole situation?
Yeah, well, we found it pretty amazing, really, Paul. I mean, it was a big blow to us at the time. Then to find out later on that in fact he couldn't have played for the Highlanders anyway, but they pulled him from the club a semi-final. You know, we just couldn't understand the logic of that. But thankfully he's back this week.
So is he back in the side? Well,
apparently the Highlanders have released him this week, even though he wasn't part of them to release.
Yeah, fine.
And Scottie is an experienced footballer, you know, having played NPC rugby and things like that. So he'll be welcome back into the side.
Okay, so look, talk me through. So you're down to halfway through that second half. Dunedin had turned down, unbelievably in my opinion, from the commentary box, that they'd turned down 3 shots at goal in front, and then they give up a late try and they're down by 1 point. So what were you thinking then?
Well, I mean, the Dunedin Brains Trust that was standing down that end of the paddock, in fact, when they turned down those 3 penalties, just couldn't believe it, and were shaking their bald heads, together. But as it turned out, it worked out for them. I mean, I thought we'd blown it completely when Harbour scored that try, but I think Harbour from that kickoff just lost focus a bit. Thought they had the game won. A great dropout from Lewis Tilley, taken by Grieve Dunn. We got back into good field position, got a penalty, and were able to nail it right at the end. So some say it was lucky. Some say we were silly not to have taken those penalties, but at the end of the day, we got
in the
there.
final.
Yep.
Okay, boys. So look, we won't dwell on it too much longer. We just want to quickly get a word from both of you guys. What does it mean to Kaikorai to be in this final, and where do you guys win it?
Oh, it obviously means a great deal, as it does to both clubs. These boys, although finals experience is probably is not as rich through their team as what it is through the Dunedin boys. And of course, along like OB will grab as many Highlanders as he can to help you along as well. So that'll be another factor.
Well, I'm telling you now, there's none.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't for lack of trying.
We tried.
And we can't count Scottie as one anyway.
Well, he's not even eligible.
Well, they have released him, yeah.
I think our chance maybe, like obviously, as we have the last few encounters, our back line out wide, that's our strength. And yeah, we've just got to try and match set play, set piece, match Dunedin up front. If we can get 40% of the ball, I'd say we'll give it a shake, but it's going to be one hell of a match.
Righto, Dennis, and you, I mean, Dunedin, have to come into this game as absolute underdogs. I've got them as 15 to 20 point underdogs, comparing those two backlines. But where can Dunedin win this game?
Oh, I think I talked to Keith Cameron last Saturday night, in fact, and he said we get our strategy right, we'll be right in there, and I think that's the key to it. They'll have to play to their strengths, which undoubtedly is their forward pack, and you know, if you've got the ball, you should have a chance. Yep.
Righto, so there it is. Look, it's a big game on Saturday, 3 o'clock at the stadium. Just before I go on to that though, just remember, this is the Meads Bar, by the way, and my heart goes out to big Colin Meads. He's not in great shape. He's got some serious kidney issues and he's in hospital up north. And no, he's that a popular a man they've had to take his name off the door. There's too many people coming to see him. So I hope he gets well soon, big fella. But I just think on this game, it's look, I think in my eyes, looking at the two teams on paper, Kaikorai go into this team as favourites, but I couldn't pick them. I just couldn't pick them. I've got Dunedin by 1. And if Dunedin win, we'll probably have another rugby chat next week. If they don't, we're all done for the summer. Talk to you again soon.